Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. Today we are going to discuss the topic that is your quality control. In the previous lecture, we are discussed about the quality assurance. Okay. In the previous lecture, we are discussed about the quality assurance, and now today we are going to discuss about the quality control. These two words are differ from each other, but the reasons or the ultimate reasons are same. In quality assurance, what we have to do, we maintain the quality throughout the throughout the process. But in quality control, we have to maintain the quality of the end product. Okay, so these are the difference between the quality assurance and the quality control. So this quality assurance are already discussed in the previous lecture. Now today what we are going to discuss about the quality control. Now the next one is your uh, quality is an important character, a degree of excellence or a necessary attribute. If we talk about the food, then in terms of food, this quality play a very essential role, or you can say that in degree of excellence for the food, it is very important. A group of activity designed to assure a standard of excellence is called a quality control. In quality control, what we have to do, we develop a standard, and these standards are maintain the quality of the food product, or it assure that the end products which are manufactured from this raw material are safe for the human being. We all know that this food are what? Food are the basics for life, means that it provide the nutrition to the human being, okay, and it is very essential for the growth and development of the human being. Growth and development of the human being. That's why it is very important. Now quality or excellence in our food supply should be an important concern to all our food processor. Okay, if we talk about the food processor, then the quality of the food is very important for all type of the food manufacturer, because if the quality of the food are maintained, then ultimately it will promote the health of the consumer. Okay, now the next one is your certain foods or food products are defined by regulation or policy called as standards of identity. There are certain foods or a food product which are defined according to their regulations or policies, and they are called what? They are called a standard of identity. Okay, now quality defined by a regulation, policies, or standard is controlled by our federal and state agencies. So there are different federal agencies and there are state agencies which develop some regulations, some policies, or some standards, so that they will control the quality of the product. They will control the quality of the product. Now this quality of the product means that the end product, okay, the product that we got from the raw material, for this for their control, or you can say that for their maintenance, there are federal and state agencies who maintain different regulation and policies and standards. Okay, now this is your commitment plus awareness plus teamwork plus communication plus quality control will give us safe food, wholesome food, and consistent food product. These are what? The these are the product which we got when we have a commitment, awareness, and teamwork, and communication, and even a quality control. Then we got what? We got safe food, wholesome food, and consistent food product. Now the next one is your, there are two major categories which are used to describe the quality characteristic of food product, like your major and minor attributes. This is your major and minor attributes. Major attributes like you're determined to be necessary for the food product, but not essential from the safety and legal standpoint. Okay, this major attribute are necessary so that we determine. So, if for sorry, this major attribute are necessary for our food, but it is not essential for the safety and legal point of view. Now, the next one is your minor attribute. Attribute is what? It is wanted, but not absolutely essential to the product or not easily determined. Okay, they are wanted, but it is not essential for the food product and it is not determined. For instance, the desirable flavor properties of foods are highly subjected. It is totally depend upon the people. It is not easily measured and should be a minor attribute. Okay, this minor attribute are not easy to measure. That's why it come under a minor attribute. Now the next one is there are some basic tools for a quality control that we are going to discuss in detail. The first one is your ingredients specification. Okay, then approve supplier list, product formulas, product standard that is come under a specification, and manufacturing processes, critical control point identification and sampling program, in process analysis, record and reporting, packaging specification, label specification, cleaning and sanitizing program, GMP, that is your good manufacturing practices requirement, warehousing, shipping and receiving program, and laboratory analysis. These are the thing that we are going to discuss in a detail. Now, the first one is your ingredient specification. See, when we have to get a good quality of finished product, then one thing we have to maintain that we have totally depend upon the raw material and the ingredients. Okay, so the raw material and in the ingredients will also have a good quality. If these raw materials and ingredients are contaminated by some type of biological hazard or physical hazard or chemical hazard, then ultimately it will affect the uh, quality of the finished product. Okay, so there are some specifications that we required for the ingredients, or there are some specification which is related to the ingredient. Like when we are going to buy our packets of some raw material, like suppose that wheat. Okay, wheat flour. So there are some specification for that, like what is the name of that particular ingredient. Along with their name, internal code number are required and effective date are also required. Now see what is written in the slide. The quality of the finished food product after manufacture depend on the quality of the raw material and the ingredients. Ingredient specification document should include like name of the ingredient, internal code number and effective date. Okay, see, this is your some packaging material of the food product. Here the name of the food name of the food are there, that is your breakfast cereal. Now this is your nutritional information about the food, and this is the name of the ingredients. See, all type of ingredients are there. Okay, now if there is some warning, then it should also mention into a food product. This is your expiry date, that is your use by date. Okay, and suppose that they have contained some nutrition in a low amount, then it should be mentioned on a food product, that is it contain a low fat content. Manufacturer address should be there. Okay, and brand name, sorry, product supplier should be there. If the product is halal, then it should be mentioned on it. Okay, so this is not come under the India, this, but all these things are come, like veg and non-veg sign should be there. Veg sign, this is your veg, and for non-veg, for non-veg. Okay, now these are a net quantity should be mentioned into a food product. So this is the quality, this is the information about the food that should be mentioned on the packaging material of the food product. Now, basic description of the ingredients, specification categories, like your, if some have a critical ingredients are there, and then it should be mentioned. Major ingredients should be mentioned, minor and action and rejected level. Like suppose that this is a some food some packaging of the food material that in that contain ingredient whole grain, rice, sugar, salt, maltose, vitamin A mixed with tocophenol, BHT are what? They are the preservative. So they are added to preserve the freshness. So this preservative are also harmful if it will beyond their limit. Okay. Now it should be mentioned, okay, vitamins and minerals like your calcium carbonate, iron, zinc, mineral nutrients like vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin B6, B2, B1, vitamin A, AB vitamin, B12, and D3. So these all the things that are mentioned into a food packaging material. Okay, so and the next one is your ingredient statement. The prepared ingredient specification become a tool for a control. The information under each heading should be simply but informative. Approved supplier list for each ingredient. And approval supplier list should exist and be available to an individual responsible for purchasing and quality control. See, if there is some ingredients who are prepared, then it should be mentioned into a food in food packaging in and there and according to their specification. Information about each ingredient should be mentioned, and it is mentioned according to their heading, but informative. Okay, approved supplier list for the ingredients should be there. Okay. Now the approved supplier list should contain the following information like ingredient name and internal code, supplier name, address, key contact, and phone number of the supplier, track name of ingredients. Okay. And supplier code number. That all these things should also mention into the packaging material. Product formulative recipe. Suppose that some product have have a detail of their preparation, then it should be mentioned on the packaging material. Okay, like your proprietary formulas are important for each food product. Written documentation of the formula or recipe should be exit and can be available for use by selected individual. Like suppose that in a Maggie there is a some short note of the recipe are there, like you have to boil the water and add the masala of the Maggie, and then you have to add a Maggie and cook for a 2 minute, your Maggie are ready. So these are come under the category of product formulation or recipe. Okay, the formula should be used daily as means to assure consistency between batches, lots, and even days of production. Okay, manufacturing personnel need to know the recipe to assure that the product is formulated correctly. Okay, suppose that the ingredients are there, then the amount of the ingredients should also mention into the packaging material. Now, key aspect of any formula document are name of the product, internal code number, effective date means that either they have contained a expiry date or use by date, and best before date. Listing of the ingredients code, percentage formula, batch yield, ingredient statement. Additional information that can be a part of formula documents are packaging, like your lot size, regulatory concentrate, net weight, package count per batch, etc. So these are the key aspects of any formula document. Now the next one is this is your food packaging of some food product, that is your macaroni cheese. Okay, product standard, a key tool to assure quality in finished processed food is the product standard document. Okay, so we have to assure that the finished processed food should maintain the quality of the food product, and it is the product standard document. Now product standard are defined as the food by physical, chemical, and microbiological characteristic, means that the product, finished product, are free from any type of physical, chemical, and microbiological contamination, and they also have considered according to their appearance, aroma, flavor, texture, that can and should also be considered for a product standard. Okay, suppose that we are going into a market and buy a food product like your curd. So the appearance of the curd are important, the aroma of the curd are important, and the flavor of the curd and even the texture of the curd are also important, and it should be come under the category of product standard. Now come to the next slide. Physical characteristic like your size, shape, dimension, weight, volume, count per package or a container, presence of fines or any other special features will also define the particular size. Additional chemical criteria like your salt, sodium, cholesterol, etc. are used to chemically define on the food product. See here, this is a product which contain a sodium around 130 milligram. So it should be mentioned. Chemical standards are necessary when using a nutritional labeling or making a um, label claim for low sodium, higher fiber, or other nutritional fact. So in that case, the chemical standards are important when we are adding the nutritional information about the food product. Manufacturing procedure. For each product, document the method of fabrication or processing procedure to ease duplication from lot to lot, shift to shift, and day to day. A simple way to approach this is a clear and concise cookbook approach. Now the next one, key step in the process which can impact upon the yield, quality, or production efficiency should be highlighted. Okay, like example of key process step might be mix for 3 minutes before adding spices. Okay, suppose that there is a some food product in which it is written that we have to mix all the ingredients into it, and after that we have to add the spices. Or in a food product there is written, it is written that we have to cook that food product at least the internal temperature should be reaches 145 degree Fahrenheit or 85 degrees Celsius. So these are come under the manufacturer procedure or manufacturer procedure. Several key points to consider when we identifying important of processing operation like time, temperature, equipment required, order of addition for ingredients, and weight. Manufacturing procedure also should include special instruction to the line for worker or quality control personnel. Okay, an example instruction could be like cross check the net weight of 5 packages every hour. Once prepared, make manufacturing procedure or portion of the procedure available to the production of employee. Use the document as an employee training tool. Okay, so these are the documents which are used for the employee training tool. Now the next one is your in process record. It is important to know what is happening with the product and process during the manufacturing. This is your raw material. Okay, this raw material are converted into a product, and when they are converted into a product, then there are several steps. Okay, so we have to check for each step that what is happening with the process, sorry, product during the process or a manufacturing. Okay, in process record keeping is a way of obtaining the information. Both quality control and production personnel should be participate in maintaining a daily manufacturing log. Okay, both the quality control person and the production personnel are combined together and they will participate in maintaining the daily manufacturing log. Okay, because it is not the work of one person, so that's why quality control person and the production person both are involved in this work. Now the next one, the specific product weight, temperature, size, shape, ingredient uses, product yield, scrap or waste material, balance, and rework are the example of measurement made during the manufacturing process. Okay, base the kind of in-process measurement used in each operation upon what is called a critical control. Critical control point is a step in the process or in product formulation where small differences, changes, or a mistake can cause the finished product to be held hazard, illegal, or costly to the business. Okay, if we have any small changes or mistake in a critical control point in each step. Okay, suppose that when we decide a critical control point in each step, then if there is any differences, even the small differences, changes, or mistakes can become the main reason for the health hazard create in a finished product, and even sometime it will become a illegal and costly for the business. Okay, critical control point may be self-imposed, okay, because of desired label statement on the part of the processor. Net weight is one example, while nutritional labeling is another. Okay, now the next one is your example of critical control point. Like we have to apply the critical control point in a raw material, during the shipment, during the processing, during the boxing, during the traveling. So these are the seafood, fishing, boat, raw material, processing, shipment, safe food. Now the next one is your packaging and labeling. A quality control program should be included during the packaging and labeling, because once the product are prepared, then it should be packed and labeled. Okay, so we are not allowed to give a wrong information in our labeling. This is very important that we have to maintain our packaging and labeling. Even the packaging material used for our packaging of the food product are non-toxic, non-corrosive, and even it will not interfere with the food product, and it will not affect the quality of the food product. One of the first item that influence the consumer is the appearance of the package and label. Yeah, that is very important. This packaging material. Okay, suppose that you go to the some supermarket and buy some chocolate. Okay, and this chocolate are very new for you. Now, how you influenced by that chocolate? If the packaging material are, if the package of the food product are not influence you. Okay, so the first thing that you notice about the food product is their packaging. Then after that you take it and read the label of the food product. So the packaging and the labeling are very important for the food product. Two basic packages are typically necessary for a food product. Okay, every food product should need a two basic package for their packaging. Now, the next one is your primary package that includes the food and has a direct contact with the product. Okay, there are two type of packaging. One is your primary and second one is your secondary. This primary packaging are what they are have a direct contact with the food product. Okay, they enclose the food product and they have a direct contact with that food product. Like your film, jar, bottle, curtain, box are some example of primary packaging. But the secondary packaging are what they are used to assemble a multiple packaged food item for a shipment. Suppose that this is your packaging for a primary. Now, when we have to ship this product, so these primary packed food should be enclosed into a packaging material that is called a secondary package. Okay, the shipper or a secondary package provide protection, reduce the handling of the each individual bottle or a curtain, and is necessary for efficient movement of the good to the consumer. This secondary package ensure that the product are protect from the outside the environment, and it also reduce the handling of the individual. Suppose that if we have a four food Now they are packed individually. Okay. Now in that case, we required at least 4% for their shipment. But when this primary packaging are enclosed into a secondary packaging, now this four food product will be shipped by a single one, and it is efficient for the movement goods to the consumers. Some packed food, like particularly microwavable product, have three packaging components like the pouch, the curtain, and the shipping case. Poor packaging or labeling can create a negative impressive relative to product quality. This is true for both simple and complex package or label. Now, item for packaging consideration. A statement from a supplier. The packaging is made up of FDA and are USDA approved material. Okay. There is a statement of the supplier who said that the packaging material which are used for a food product are what either they are approved by FDA or USDA. Either they are approved by FDA or USDA. The package composition should be listed on the statement, and the composition of the packaging material are listed on the statement. Dimension of the curtain, jar, bottle, or box. Strength of the container and suitability for stacking, freezing, or microwave. Strength of seal or fit of the lid. For heat seal packages, the temperature requirement for sealing are critical. Okay, fifth one is your ability to restrict or allow airflow, moisture or light, permeability, thickness, flexibility, temperature resistant are specific criteria in this category. Graphic like illusion, pictures or visual design, label format and legal requirement. Okay, packaging must be selected or designed which are based upon the particular food item. Like fresh fruits and vegetables require packaging material that provide protection from allowing airflow for a proper cooling and respiration. Okay, so for a fresh fruits and vegetables, the packaging material that we require, it should not allow the sorry, it provide the protection while allowing the airflow, so that airflow should be allowed, but it protect the food material from the outside the environment. Okay, airflow are done for a proper cooling and respiration. Okay, so that's why the packaging materials are designed according to their need or according to the food product. Okay, now the next one, dairy product required packaging to inhibit penetration and excessive oxygen. Okay, so it will not allow to pass the light penetration and excessive oxygen because of the potential for the flavor detect due to the oxidation, rancidity, or the absorption of the foreign flavor. Now, package graphical by word or pictures that define the content and serve as a point of purchase information. The law required the product name, ingredient statement, manufacturing or distribution location to be on the package. Government regulation list many requirements for packaging and even extend to specifying the size or even type or printing. Some typical package and label detect are smears, curve, color variation, broken seal, leakage, short film, and product infestation or spoil age. The defect can be found in both single unit pack and multi-unit pack. Good manufacturing practices and sanitation that we already discussed. Federal regulation define a specific procedure to minimize the contamination of food product by people in a manufacturing, processing, packaging, and warehousing facilities. The regulation are called good manufacturing procedure that we already discussed in the previous lecture. Good manufacturing process are an integral part of the quality control. It is the responsibility of the food business management and ownership to know the practice, communicate, and ensure that GMPs are carried out by a employee. An overview of GMP. An individual with communicable disease cannot work in area where the food contamination is possible. Suppose that some person who have some disease, okay, so they are not allowed to work in a food area, okay, but that because it will contaminate the food product. Okay, this include individual with boils, sore, or infected wounds. Food handler must follow the good personal hygiene practices, like they have to wear a protective cloth. Okay, they have to clean and sanitize their hand properly, and after cleaning and sanitization their hand, they have to wear a glove and no jewelry policy. The worker who are work in a food industry, they are not allowed to wear any jewelry. They have to wear the hairnet, their nail should be cut, their hand should be clean. If a person leave their workplace and go outside, then after that when they again enter into the premises, then they have to wash their hand and sanitize their hand, and the glove should change for every work. Okay, now use gloves when the job required hand covering. Use effective hair restraint and covering, that I told you that hairnet should be wear, so that it will avoid the hair to fall into the food. Okay. Now train the employee effectively in hygiene, sanitation, and pest control. A cleaning and sanitation program prevent the buildup of dirt and debris, and maintaining equipment in good repair prevent the growth and contamination from the microorganism. This cleaning are used to prevent the dirt and debris, or remove the dirt and debris, and sanitization is used to remove the microorganism, and it also prevent the entry and harboring of insect and other pest. So these are what? These are come under the definition of the cleaning and sanitizing program. Now the next one is this is a good manufacturing practices and sanitation. See, the worker who are work in the premises, they wear what? They wear a proper hairnet, gloves, apron, and even see this. So these are what? These are the pictures. Warehousing. It involves three activities like receiving, storage, and shipping that include in a quality control program. The receiving operation is the foundation for processing finished food product of a designated quality. Receiving operation means that when we receive the raw material, so this raw material decide the quality of the finished product. Guideline for incoming shipment. Be sure that storage space is clean. Means that the area where the product are stored, that area should be proper clean. Before unloading, inspect the condition of the carrier, measure the temperature, observe and note the full odor, spills and insect. For refrigerated and frozen product, temperature is critical. Okay, suppose that we receive us some chicken. The temperature of the chicken should be either at the range of 0 to 5 degrees Celsius, or minus 18 to minus 22 degrees Celsius. So these temperatures should be maintained. Okay, otherwise we will not accept the raw material. Okay, now and when we unload the product, we have to inspect the area, and even we have to inspect the career, so that it will not uh, contaminated with any type of insect or some hazard. We have to observe the condition of the container for damage, which could be a source of contamination. So we have also observed the condition of the container, so that it will not damage, otherwise it will contaminate the food product. Collect the random sample from the shipment and analyze or evaluate the sample in relation to specification. Okay, we have what we have to do. We have to collect the random sample when the shipment are there, so that we have analyzed the specification of our industry. After unloading, inspect the condition of the carrier and notice the condition of the floor and wall. Do not accept the full ingredient or the packaging shipment combined with chemical or poisoning. Suppose that there is one shipment who who also carry the food ingredients, packaging, and even the food material, and along with they also carry some chemical or poisonous substance. So at that cases we have to reject the product. If the shipment does not meet the specification, be prepared to reject all or a part of the load. Okay, suppose that our requirement are not fulfilled, then in that case what we have to do, we have to reject the whole product and even the some part of the product which are not maintain the specification of the food product. Minimize the doco time, move refrigerator or frozen item directly into the storage. Date code our incoming shipment directly on the container or a pallet load for a stock rotation. Okay, what we have to do, either we date the date or either we put a code for all incoming shipments so that we maintain the stock rotation. Laboratory analysis. Laboratory analysis is the phase in which the quality control program is implemented after the product is processed. Okay, when we get the finished product, then we do this laboratory analysis. Compile the method of analysis used in the laboratory in a special working notebook like microbiological, chemical, physical analysis of the food are available in the book. Official method of analysis published by a Association of Official Analytical Chemists. Method of the laboratory analysis of the food. What we have to do, either we do a standard plate count for a microbiological method used to count the number of bacteria contained in a product. Also, we do a yeast and mold count, a microbiological method which is used to count the number of yeast and mold in a food. Okay, chemical method, like we have to maintain the pH, we have to determine the pH, and also what we have to do, either we have to see that the product are acidic, neutral, or basic. Along with it, also we perform a moisture analysis of the food, fat analysis. This moisture analysis are used to determine the total water content in the food, and fat analysis are used to determine the fat percent in a food product. Like suppose that this fat content are determined in a milk case, especially, and this moisture content are determined in a wheat flour, or even the product who have low moisture content. So this is all about the quality control of the food product. I hope you will understand. If you have any query, just let us know in a comment box. You can also ask your query to the helpline number that are already mentioned in your slide. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And you can also visit our website, that is www.itlsacademy.com. You can also follow the ITLS Academy on different platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and subscribe ITLS Academy on YouTube and get our app from a Google Play. Thank you so much. If you have any query, just let us know in a comment box.